You people aren't welcome here. Too loud. Take your money somewhere else. That's what the man said to me straight to my face before I could even finish my first damn beer. And you know what the wildest part was? I hadn't even opened my mouth yet. No words, no drama. Just me, a quiet seat in the corner, and a cold drink I hadn't touched. Yeah, that happened. Let me back up a sec. I just got out Navy SEAL 14 years. Not that I went around telling people that, because trust me, folks either get too impressed or too suspicious. Either way, it's a headache. So there I was, trying to adjust to civilian life in this little coastal town called Harbor Bay, hoping the ocean air would do something to settle the noise still buzzing in my head from years of combat, chaos, brotherhood, and loss. Now, I don't fit the Hollywood image of a SEAL. Not tall, not bulky. Just average height, lean, quiet, with eyes that probably seem like they've seen too much because they have. I wear simple clothes, keep my hair close-cropped. I wasn't out looking for trouble or attention. I just wanted a place where I could breathe without feeling like I had to look over my shoulder. The Blue Anchor. That's where it started. It's one of those places that looks cozy from the outside, wood-paneled, a little weather-worn, with this old ship's while hanging above the door like it means something. Locals swore by it. Tourists thought it was authentic. Me? I just figured it was a spot to sit with a beer and some silence. So I walked in. Tuesday afternoon. Quiet. A couple regulars hunched over their drinks. No music, just the sound of ice clinking in glasses and bar stools creaking. I sat in the back corner habit, ordered one beer, and just watched. That's what years of recon do to you. You watch everything. You listen. You assess. Frank Wilkins ran the place. Barrel-chested, gruff, with that red face, perpetually pissed-off looks some people are just born with. He decided long ago that he didn't like military types. Something about a scuffle years back, sailors getting rowdy. The truth? I think he just needed a scapegoat, and we were convenient. Add the fact that I'm black, and suddenly I'm 2 strikes in before I even crossed the threshold. I saw it in his eyes the second he spotted me, that flicker of tension, the kind people try to hide but can't quite. I didn't react. Just sat, stared at the old nautical charts on the wall, let my beer sweat in my hand. 15 minutes later, here he comes, stomping across the bar like I'd lit something on fire. You planning something? He asks, real loud, like he's trying to make a show out of it. I blinked, confused. Just drinking my beer, I said, calm as ever. Thinking. He scoffed. I don't like your kind of thinking. Makes folks nervous. I looked around. The other patrons couldn't have cared less. Nobody was even looking. My kind, I asked. What kind would that be? And that's when he leaned in. I can still smell the mix of cheap whiskey and cigarettes. He didn't have to say it outright. The glance at my skin said enough. But he did anyway. You guys always cause trouble. Think you can come where you don't belong. People like you not welcome here. I stared at him, dead in the eye. Noisy. I repeated, just to hear the word out loud. I haven't spoken to anyone but the bartender. Get out before I make you, he growled. And you know what? I left. Not because I was scared. Not because he won. But because sometimes silence is louder than any punch. I walked back to my apartment, small, basic, temporary, with that bitterness in my chest. Ive face. Racism's not new to me. But something about this hit different. Maybe because it came at a time when I was already trying so hard to rebuild, to be still, to be normal. I sat on my bed, phone in hand. I opened an old encrypted app one I hadn't used in a while. Sent one line, Blue Anchor, Harbor Bay, owner Frank Wilkins. Racial discrimination against veteran. Just FYI. Didn't expect a response. Didn't ask for help. I was just sharing intel. Old habits. Next morning, 5:30 a.m. My body's still trained awake at dawn. The phone rings. Marcus. The voice. Commander Carlos Hernandez. My old team leader. The kind of man who doesn't call unless there's a mission. I saw your message, he said. Talk to the guys. We're interested in this establishment. Sir, I started. I wasn't trying to. When something affects one of us, it affects all of us, he cut in. Besides, we're being transferred to West Point Naval Base. That's 30 minutes away. We'll need a place to unwind. I felt myself smile. That's not interesting. Very, he replied. Coffee. Portiers dîner. 0800. He hung up. Porter's was packed with the scent of bacon and cheap coffee. Hernandez showed up sharp, not in uniform, but he didn't need one. Everything about him screamed command. He dropped a folder on the table. Did some digging. Inside, financial records, complaint reports, violations, all about Frank Wilkins and the Blue Anchor. I flipped through it. 5 complaints of discrimination in 3 years. 2 from black military personnel. Health violations cleared too quickly. Liquor license up for renewal. Seems like Frank's got friends in City Hall, I said. Maybe. Or maybe no one ever pushed back, Hernandez replied. That changes now. He laid out 6 team members were nearby, off duty. They'd be visiting the bar Friday afternoon. Casually, respectfully, but undeniably. I nodded. Dress code. Civilian, he smirked. We're just citizens having a drink. Friday, 4:30 p.m. The Blue Anchor buzzed with its usual crowd. Frank stood behind the bar, laughing too loudly at something unfunny. Mike the bouncer, former wannabe MMA guy, lurked by the door. I walked in first. Just me. Frank clocked me and motioned to Mike. But before Mike could move, the door opened again. And again. And again. 12 men. 6 black, 3 Latino, 3 white. Uniform and posture. Dead calm. Eyes scanning, calculating. These weren't bar hoppers. These were warriors. They didn't speak. Didn't need to. They spread out like a silent perimeter forming around the room. And everyone noticed. Commander Hernandez approached the bar. Mr. Wilkins. Frank tried to puff up. Yeah. We've heard about your establishment. Thought we'd stop by. Frank glanced at Mike, who suddenly seemed a lot smaller. Everyone's welcome here, Frank mumbled. Really? Hernandez said. He gestured. Doc, our medic, dropped a folder on the counter. Same one from the diner. Discrimination complaints. Health violations. Racial profiling. Frank's face went pale. How'd you? Doesn't matter, Hernandez cut him off. What matters is that last night, you kicked out a veteran for no reason but your prejudice. Marcus stepped forward, my voice steady now. You said people like me weren't welcome. What exactly did you mean by that? The place went quiet. Phones came out. Cameras rolled. No hiding now. Tank, a mountain of a man, stepped up. Mr. Wilkins, your liquor license is under review. Coincidentally, my sister works for the board. Another SEAL added, and my cousin's a journalist. Loves stories like this. Frank's hands trembled. What do you want? A place where everyone's welcome, Hernandez said, regardless of race, background, or history. A place where respect is the real dress code. Doc slid another paper across the bar. A commitment, donations to civil rights groups, employee training, posted anti-discrimination policy. Frank whispered, This is extortion. No, I said. This is an opportunity. Frank looked around. His patron silent. Mike? Useless. No one backing him up. And if I say no? Hernandez smiled. Then we walk away and let justice do what it does. Frank signed. The internet exploded. The video spread. Protests followed. The Blue Anchor, now infamous, had to change or close. The sign outside read, Blue Anchor, where everyone is welcome. For once it meant something. Frank stayed, but in the back, handling books, dodging eye contact. The staff was new, diverse, respectful. Me, I started a coastal adventure business. Harbor Bay tours and adventures. Just 1 boat at first. Then 2. Then 5. SEALs invested. Veterans joined the crew. We built something. One night, 6 months later, I sat at the Blue Anchor, packed, lively, transformed. A band of veterans played on stage. Locals, tourists, sailors, strangers, all laughing together. Frank caught my eye. Nodded. Didn't smile. Didn't apologize. But he knew. Doc leaned over. Best revenge, huh? No, I said. Not revenge. Justice. Because justice ain't always loud. Sometimes it's a ripple that becomes a wave, and when it finally hits, it cleanses everything. So let me ask you, was Frank punished? Or was he changed? Was this justice? Or was it mercy? Tell me, where do we draw the line between redemption and consequence? Drop your thoughts in the comments about justice, about prejudice, about what it means to truly earn respect. Let's talk. Quarto.